The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
It's showtime.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is showtime here on Circle Date, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome everyone here for episode 113. It's the host of previous one I've been seeing. Here with my other hosts, mis compadres, mi familia, the greatest faction in the world, the fellow four horsemen of podcasting. But of course, we're missing one because he's making music. And like always, he's a man making this type of music. If you guys want to hear. So yes, that's right. That's if you want to hear the one and only the director, Chris Kennedy. Follow Fake Destroyed. He kicks ass on that for sure.
Most definitely. The music is fire.
Oh hell yeah! And what's good? That's right. Tribal
Clark
Chief
Street.
Day. Tribal Chief Day, ladies.
The debate is coming soon.
Yes, and what's going on?
What's good, Courtney?
That's right. And yes, it's going to be a glorious Tribal Chief Day for you. That is right. Yeah. We'll get into that. We will get into it. Let me go ahead and introduce, of course, mi familia right here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, on August 8th, ladies and gentlemen, you have to see this. I'm pretty sure you guys saw it, but I'll play it again for you guys so you guys can see it. Coming to you Monday on August 8th. This man right here will be coming to you, but before we even play that, we'll play, as a matter of fact, we'll play because it's uploading right now in a few. But in the meantime, he's going to bring us some serious.
You're going to see some serious shit.
That's right, because he
yes,
is
sir.
The DeLorean of podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. The De Niro of podcasting, the De Niro is what I mean. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, Mike De Niro, ladies and gentlemen.
What's good, everybody? Yeah, the days are counting down. August 8th, Wrestling Delorean live here on the Circle Debate. You don't got to do anything. If you're already subscribed to Circle Debate, you're going to have the Wrestling Delorean. And if you aren't subscribed, what the fuck are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button right now.
That is right. That's right. Oh, man.
Facts.
Fact right there. And of course, let me go and introduce this man. This individual likes to give his 6-9 answers, his reasons, his thoughts, especially to all those.
Stanford Stooge.
It does. And that's why I play his theme songs just for you guys. That's right, because he is the Invisible Man himself, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. 6-9, Mr. MGC Onk. I guess he's still Onk or ONK.
Whatever. Big Daddy Onk.
Ongaku no Kami. Iyomi. No, the funny thing is, at Total Wine, I saw a Japanese rum called Kiyomi. In Korean, that means like cutie or something like that. So it's like, this is the cutie rum. So yeah, after every time you take a shot of Kiyomi, you gotta go Idongi Kiyomi. And then you have to take a shot. I gotta buy it. I was just thinking about that Total Wine the whole time.
We need to have like drinking games here on Circle Debate.
Hell yeah, we're gonna have one day. We should.
Take a shot every time. Take a shot every time De Niro curses. We'll be drunk as fuck by the end of the show, man.
I think I would be too.
I'm like, all right, guys, good night.
Now let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of shit happened this past weekend in the world of professional wrestling. A lot of good shit, though. A lot of good shit, I can tell you that. First to start, we're going to go overall. Not every match, but overall our thoughts of it. Because, shout out to Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to them. They break down the card of the recap show, so make sure you subscribe to them because they provide the best recap episodes for these incredible events for SummerSlam right here that happened this past Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. And that was fantastic overall pay-per-view. Of course, we did see a new era beginning. As at that time, we saw the debut, the return, and the debut in the main roster for both of these individuals. And that is, of course, Io Sky, Bailey, and of course Dakota Kai, now known as Kai. Man, what an incredible!
Oh, she dropped the Dakota?
Yeah, I think she's not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So yes,
huh.
And of course, acknowledge him, ladies and gentlemen. Acknowledge him because it's Tribal Chief Day here on
700
COD.
plus.
700 plus, man. It's still undefeated. Against Brock Lesnar. I got to give it to him. But overall, I'm going to just give my thoughts very brief. I enjoyed it. This was a fantastic event, especially with the opening match with Bianca and Becky. They really knocked it off the park. I know it was slow in the beginning, but towards the middle and the ending, it was just a fantastic job. Both of these ladies. I know Becky separated her shoulder. If you saw that injury, looked nasty. Injury scare. I wish you nothing but the best speedy recovery, Becky, because we need you back as the man, which, we'll get into that very shortly. But, man, Logan Paul, another one. Matt, your guy, Matt, your best friend, your BFF, your former coworker, the one that you shitted on. Oh, my God.
Yeah, guys, if you haven't heard Matt's pipe bomb on Logan Paul, you got to go back. It was like a couple weeks ago. I never heard him get so mad.
It's so bad.
He kept us on a set of in not too far from Koreatown in this house where they shot the show. What was it, Neighbors with Zac Efron or whatever? It was a show called Foursome, and they kept us in a house without air conditioning for like 2 days.
Wow.
And it was in the middle, and we had to sleep outside in the hot sun in Koreatown. In the middle of summer. And they fed us only Little Caesars.
He owes you some of that WWE check.
Yeah,
right.
Send it my way, Christ, and maybe I'll give you the time of day, Logan. Maybe you can confess your love to me or something. I don't know.
I can tell you that Paul did a fantastic job. He did a great job with and this is how you know that he took wrestling to very, very serious. He respects professional wrestling. So count down to Logan Paul for
he definitely knows how to get heat. Yeah. He knows how to get heat for sure.
But I don't know, man. This is looking different. I mean, he did a great job. I mean,
right now, right?
Even Dan, shout out to Dan, Cage by Key. Logan Paul took his shit on Matt, and then his pride drink picked up the hydration at the drink of some Archie. Oh my God!
Shout out Dan. Here's my IQ.
Shout out Dan. But man, what a fantastic event. I mean, I really give it I give it an A. Not a minus or a plus. I give it an A. I just didn't enjoy the Edge thing. That's it. Oh man. Okay, it's Edge. Your back. Okay, your face. You busted
a tight ass jacket.
It's right.
I thought that jacket was going to rip after he hit that spear. That shit looked like a girl jacket, but
he probably got confused. That was best fucking Phoenix jacket that he probably took most likely. But I'll take it either, Nero. Give us your thought overall. What do you grade the SummerSlam event, man?
I'm gonna give it an A too. I really enjoyed this event. I was really happy to see. I know I see a lot of people shitting on it, but I was really happy to see Roman Reigns win after that chaotic matchup. We had rings flipping, we had tractors, we had everybody interfering. But I was really happy to see Roman Reigns win because I'm one of the few people I know, and I know Clark Street is as well. I'm one of the few people I know that really loves this title reign. It is a historic title reign, and I feel like we're going to look back at this years down the line and be like, yo, that was the last historic title reign. You know what I mean? He's on 700 plus. Man, fuck, go 1,000. You know what I mean? Hold that shit to WrestleMania next year. Like, I'm all for it. Like, he's killing it right now as champion, so I'm glad that he's still the champion. Every match, I think, delivered, and it was a very solid show, and I enjoyed it. Even the matches that weren't like technical masterpieces, like they were still enjoyable to me. Even the Logan Paul Miz matchup, I thought that it played a good part. Shout out to Logan Paul for taking this shit serious. And I agree with Courtney that Frog Splash was phenomenal. Definitely, I can't think of anything bad. It was funny because I had questions before going into the show because I know that Vince wrote that last Raw before he retired. So going into the show, I was wondering, is this going to look more like a Vince McMahon pay-per-view, or are we going to see sprinkles of Triple H's, I guess, regime already? And right after the first matchup, when we see Dakota Kai return and Io Shirai, who's now Io Sky, I was like, yeah, Triple H is running this shit. So for sure, like I was happy with the whole show, and it flew by. Like it was 4 hours, and it felt like it was like 2 minutes because it was a great show. Same thing with Raw. I know we're probably gonna get to Raw, but that was the first time in as long as I can remember that the 3 hours of Raw felt like 1 hour. It flew by so quickly because it was so enjoyable. So definitely right now, WWE's on a roll, and SummerSlam was amazing to me.
Right? Exactly. Absolutely. It's been over one. It's been over 1,000 days since Roman has been pinned.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. I'm not gonna deny
he did have a little sprint. He had a little time period where he was not on the show before that. So
exactly.
I don't know if you're counting that, but
yeah. Right? I don't think we can count that, Devin. No, I don't think we can. I don't think we can count that. But Matt Callis, I don't know if you caught any glimpse or any highlights.
I'll give it a medium rare.
Right here.
Medium rare. Right here. Very good, very tender in the good parts.
I need to get a damn Gordon Ramsay collab video here. I keep forgetting.
Be so down.
Yeah, one of his insults from Hell's Kitchen.
Me and my girl.
Exactly. What are you? An idiot sandwich, Devin.
I just saw the Gordon Ramsay goes to the place where they find weed and stuff. It's like the best episode of Hotel Hell ever. But yeah, I give it a medium rare. It's good in the good parts, and I got it's the first big taste of Triple H's. How you would imagine things being if everything was like NXT Gold, So if everything was of that flavor, of that style, and it was cool seeing Io Sky. Her on the main roster. What a debut. A lot of big things are going to happen. I think we're going to see, Saray be used better in the future. A lot of good things are going to be happening down the line for this. So
as a matter of fact,
the good taste.
Yeah.
The first good taste.
As a matter of fact, when you mentioned Saray, she had a title shot against oh my God, I can't believe I forgot her name. Who's NXT Women's Champion? Mandy Rose. And she did a great job. I saw the highlight of that match. She did a great job. So Triple H he's putting his flag everywhere.
All this flavor. All of the Triple H flavor in the pot.
Oh, no.
I'll tell you what.
I'm happy with that.
I think Matt would be happy with Triple H's appearance on Impulsive, Logan Paul's podcast.
I'll let you know something kind of funny. I've watched that for Alex Jones before, and
Alex Jones is crazy, man.
I've said I'd want Alex Jones to be a wrestler. So if Alex Jones becomes Logan Paul's tag team partner, that would be
Alex Jones would be an amazing wrestling manager.
He'd be good promos.
But no, so there's a part of Impulsive where Triple H is on, and I don't know the other guys' names, but one of the other hosts asks Triple H, "What did you think when you heard Jake Paul's older brother sign to the WWE?" And Triple H said, "I said, who the fuck is that?"
Oh shit!
Who the fuck is that guy?
I don't know these kids. I know Motorhead, but I don't know these kids.
Oh man! And then, very briefly, there's nothing much to talk about. Just overall, and which is Ric Flair's. The following day, we had Ric Flair's last match pay-per-view. I really want to grade this. I give this one a B. I did enjoy most of the cards. I did enjoy, especially, that Triple L one, the Fatal 4-Way. Man, I think they stole the show. And Alexander Fatu too, as well. Man, Jacob Fatu, he should be more in Impact. I think he could deliver most definitely in Impact. I mean, I love MLW, but I prefer him in Impact. I think he could do a phenomenal job there in Impact. Man,
he's a big money star for sure. I'm a big fan of Fatu. Killer
Cross, man, nailed it with Davey Boy. I enjoyed that as well. So I mean, it was a good card. It wasn't bad at all. It's just the main event, of course, it was slow. Ric Flair was a little bumped up. We did see that. So it happens. Good to see the Undertaker, Bret Hart, and we saw Mick Foley sitting in the front row. So it was good to see them there too. But overall, it was okay. It was decent. Just kudos to Jared for selling the shit out of that match, man. The guy can still move, man. He can take us. He is, man. He is. DDP as well. Oh, Diamond Cutter. Yes, I love that. Good sell from Cardona as well. But yeah, Denaro, give us your thoughts of that Ric Flair if you saw the Ric Flair pay-per-view event.
Yeah, I thought the whole event was pretty good. I really liked the opening matchup with the Motor City Machine Guns and the American Wolves. Thought that was a great matchup. I didn't even know that they wrestled once before. They mentioned that on commentary that they wrestled once before a couple years back. But I remember back when, like, you know, Ring of Honor 2011 days where the American Wolves were like killing it. I thought them and the Machine Guns would be a dream match, but I guess they already fought. But definitely this matchup was great. They had great chemistry with each other. I feel like every matchup was great besides the main event. But I didn't go into the main event thinking that I was going to get a great match because he's 73 years old. I knew not to expect that. I knew that Andrade, Jay Lethal, and Jeff Jarrett were going to shine most of that matchup, and they did. But the parts with Ric Flair in it was very slow, as expected. It was scary at parts because he looked like he couldn't even get to his feet after the matchup. And I don't know, like, to be honest, it just struck me as a match that didn't need to happen. It wasn't necessary. I've been saying it for weeks on the show. Like, it's not necessary to even have this event. But overall, the event was great. But the reason why we all come together is for Ric Flair's last match, and that was like the least, you know, good match. But it is what it is. Like, overall, I think it was a cool event. I love the nostalgia of seeing Jim Crockett Promotions, the logo and the set, having Tony Schiavone and David Crockett do commentary. I also thought that the guest commentators did amazing. Ian Riccaboni always does a great job. Tom Hannafin from Impact Wrestling, former Tom Phillips, did a great job. Really like to hear Nick Aldis on commentary. He's a great commentator. Like, Nick Aldis did pretty good on commentary too. So overall, I thought it was a really good event and had a lot of dream matches. I personally would have liked to see a finish to Fatu and Josh Alexander because I thought that matchup was going amazing, but then Cardona and his posse ruined it. But shout out to Diamond Dallas Page. You know what I mean? I do a little DDP yoga. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Not gonna lie.
Oh,
feel the bang.
That's right. You feel the bang. That's right. Mike Callis, did you catch any of Ric Flair's event?
Yes, and I gotta say, it definitely was like the two really great tag matches. You know, Briscoes and Von Erichs. You know, that was you know, that could have fit in right in with the territories if you know, with their style. I think it just goes to show that the Motor City Machine Guns are definitely in the area of perception. That way, the FTR Motor City Machine Guns match is probably going to be a lot sooner than later. And I think a lot of other things, you know, of course, Killer Cross, or, you know, our good friend working his magic. A lot of, I think the other kind of sleeper match was what was it? Well, Robert Gibson's son and Robert Gibson's son and Ricky, or was it?
It was Ricky Morton's son.
Ricky Morton's son,
yeah.
That's who it was.
And
I forgot what his name was. And against Brock Anderson and Brian Pillman Jr. I think that was a big, you know, I gotta say that match was probably like the most underrated of the night, in my opinion. You know, I kind of get to see a different side. In fact, actually, I think I like that tag team more than the Varsity Blondes.
I was going to say that it seemed like they fit together more.
There's more fury. There's more of that ruthless aggression from that.
Especially with the Four Horsemen, you know, lineage. I gotta say,
that's a cool theme song too. It was badass sounding.
For sure. I gotta say, this really reminded me of like the Wrestling Peace Festival or Terry Funk's retirement show in Amarillo in '97. Because you had so many companies come together. Like I said, in that main event, you have an AEW signed star in Jay Lethal and in Andrade teaming up with a WWE signed person, Jeff Jarrett. You have The Undertaker in the crowd. You had Impact Wrestling defending their title. Like, there was so many different companies promoted on this show. It was nice to see that come together. And it was nice to see
match.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was nice to see also WWE play a part in the show too. Having, you know, Cody say his piece, having Shawn Michaels say his piece. And then, you know, I think that we're going to see more of that. I think that now when you see other companies come together, the forbidden door, I think that WWE is finally going to be open to allowing their talent to partake in that, because it was always the ego of Vince McMahon that put the blocks on that, where now I feel like Triple H is open to working with other companies.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, man, yes. All of that event
ruthless aggression.
And it was ruthless aggression, that is for sure. But I enjoyed it. I mean, it was fun. Just the, you know, we might see this in the future again, seeing GCW, seeing AAA, seeing Impact, AEW, WWE. This might come down the road because there's no Vince McMahon, and Paul Levesque doesn't really. It's like, why is he? Come on, you think Levesque is going to be? No, you can't go over there because it's look bad for our product. Nah, come on. This is a sport. This is the last. This is a 73-year-old man who's retiring. Wanted to retire his way, not Vince's way. Yeah. Them losing to Shawn Michaels. Like, and shout out to the Universal Wrestling Podcast. I apologize, Nick. I know you said yes. I'm sorry. I love you. Mania 24 should have been his last match. I know, but he retired his way. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but him doing this, having New Japan as well. Who I forgot to mention. Adding all these promotions into one for this epic person, which I
think about it. On the same show, we had a cameo from The Undertaker and Nick Gage. Anything can happen.
Konosuke at the catch show with DDT. Yeah. I think another thing. I guess this is kind of underrated because I think you guys touched on something. This is a little preview. This is a really tiny preview on what's possible in this new Hunter era of WWE. Yeah. We could really seriously see that big mega super show, AEW, WWE, New Japan, AAA, that big show.
Yeah. Even if it's not their stars going against like their stars, like if it's not WWE versus AEW, if you have like a event that has everybody involved, like that's good enough for me. We don't have like, of course, the dream matches would be cool to see. But just to show that everyone's working together, I think will be nice enough.
I'd be over the moon if it was like mostly like newer undercard guys from all the promotions. That'd be sick. Kind of like the big training day or something like that. Or I don't know, like best of the Super Juniors for all the companies. Just imagine that.
I remember in an interview, Triple H said, if you remember the show When Worlds Collide, it was like 205 Live versus NXT. Triple H said that he would like to take that concept and take it to other promotions and have their guys go against our guys. So I think that Triple H already has that mindset. And when Worlds Collide, if he could have that as an event where you have AAA and New Japan and AEW and Impact Wrestling, GCW, MLW, WWE, think about the possibilities. Yeah, it's insane.
Yes, don't get me excited.
It's all like newer. It's really like best of the Super Juniors, but with everybody.
Yeah,
that's how insane that would be.
Well, speaking of maybe well, go ahead.
I think the coolest possibility is like maybe the winner could probably compete for whatever belt from whatever company he wants. Just imagine the stakes on that.
Yeah,
Emperor of the Ring or something like that.
That'd be crazy.
Winner. And it has to be one belt. It can't be multiple. He has to pick one company that he wants to compete for the world championship for.
That would be interesting. That'd be interesting. But speaking of a new era, that is right. Let's get into the new era. It is for you, Devin, because shout out to Clark Street because they did this, but they did it on their TikTok. But I'm going to put it right here. After that, at 24 hours, it's 48 hours after SummerSlam, Monday Night Raw, and that's where it all.
It has begun.
That's right, and it has begun the new era of the Triple H era. That is right, and it begins on Monday Night Raw. Of course, man, seeing the demographics here, what we're looking at here, the viewership for Monday Night Raw, you had 2.23 million viewers watching Monday Night Raw. This has been the highest Raw since 2020, March 16th. It's been the highest Raw in history. A lot of things happened here that we saw more professional wrestling here. Tiny little entertainment, but professional wrestling we saw. That triple threat with the AJ and Ali, and Ziggler. Oh, no, the Miz, sorry, yeah. And then Ziggler and Ziggler, Ciampa,
and Chad Gable.
Chad Gable, man. That was good shit.
Yeah, man. This Raw was a banger. And I got to say, if this is what we're going to be getting, then maybe we'll be seeing the changes a lot quicker than I thought. Because I thought it was going to be like a slow process. I didn't think that we were going to be seeing this much of a change overnight. Because honestly, like I said a couple minutes ago, this was 3 hours and it felt like 1 hour. It went by so fast because I was just enjoying it and locked in the whole time. If you think about last week's Raw and Raws in between, like there's so much goofy shit that they do to fill up 3 hours. And none of that was here for this Raw. It was just straight up wrestling, good stories, good promos, and everything made sense. Everything had a place on the show. And it just felt like a great show to me.
It did. I'm with you 100%. And it felt that way, with Paul giving more of creative freedom to the talent. No scripted promos. We didn't see tore up papers everywhere. Last minute, change the script. So yeah. I'm looking forward, and I'm looking forward down the future of what's going to happen with Raw, especially, and movie and SmackDown too. I'm looking forward. I'm excited, actually. I'm here to say, ladies and gentlemen, yes, I know everybody's like, what? Ivan is already back loving WWE? Yeah. Well, look, because Paulovic is there, and he took care of his son Ciampa. He made him a number one contendership. By the way, great match versus AJ. Even though the finish was like, I didn't want no interference, but hey, at least he won. It's part of the storyline. But I'm happy that he got his shot. Seeing AJ more wrestling too, like, man, it's been a while that we haven't seen this type of wrestling since the Black and Gold era. I'm sorry to say it, but it's a damn fucking truth. Since the Black and Gold era, we haven't seen no professional wrestling.
Black and Gold on all the promotions.
I would input the style, but I wouldn't try to revive it in the main roster because it's a different aspect. You have so much talent that you have to work with. And
you have different fans you have to cater to.
That too. Yeah. And also you have veterans that have been there for quite some time that have been used to the Vince way. Like, hey, okay, we'll do this. And, just do me a pop, clothesline, elbow, that's it. Let's get out of here. Let's take it home. Yeah. Not no more. And I'm hoping we see less of that and more of, hey, let's give a fucking story here. And that's what I'm hoping to see for not only just in the promo world, but in the ring as well. I'm looking forward to see that. Now, another debate here that I want to get. Let's see what the debate say. Miss gonna help. Yes, I'm not disagreeing. I'm with that. I'm not disagreeing. I actually, to be honest with you, this pair of Ciampa and Miz, I'm intrigued because I think Miz could help Ciampa elevate his charisma more as a heel. I feel he could do that for him.
Yeah.
And then later on, turn his back on him. And I'm talking about Ciampa, the one turning on Miz. I feel like that could happen. So, I mean, that could be the case. All right. And now I want to get into look, I want to debate this because this is the one that we were talking about it in the chat. So I got to bring it up. It is another debate. That's right. Debate of the week here because of this announcement that TK did. So TK announced expansions for his talent relations and development team. Of course, he announced the announcement here, which I'm looking for the picture that he put here. So he announced the roles for Sanjay Dutt, QT Marshall, Pat Buck, and Tony Schiavone, as of course they're the seniorities for talent relations, and they're going to be obviously the expansion team for it. Madison Rayne will making her debut at AEW this Friday, and now she's joining in as the developmental coach. Now, I want to ask both of you guys, because this is a debate of the week. I want to debate this. Regardless of all this team that he's told TK is doing, do you feel that this will overall in AEW and Ring of Honor will help with all the communications with the talent? So I'll take it to you, Dylan.
It better because there's a lot of people talk about there's a lack of communication, and that's not the narrative that you want to have. If I'm a guy, even if I'm in AEW and my contract is up, and I know Triple H is now running WWE, maybe it's going to be, all right, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to want to see what's going on over in WWE because now I know someone like me or someone like my size is going to get looked at and get a chance. TK has to make sure that his talent are happy because right now all the intrigue is going back to the WWE. So he needs to make sure that his talent wants to stay with AEW. And when you got guys who are coming out and saying that there's no communication at all, like, for example, Joey Janela said on a podcast, I believe it was Renee Paquette's podcast, that when he was released, well, when his contract was up, he didn't even know that, AEW wasn't going to re-sign him. They didn't even send him a message or anything. They just stopped responding to him. They just stopped talking to him. That's not how you do things. Even if you send him a message or like let him know, give him a call saying, hey, we're going to go a different route, but thank you for your time in the company. That's the way you go. You don't just stop talking to people. They did the same shit to Chavo Guerrero. They did the same thing to Marco Stunt. Now we hear that they did the same thing to Jonathan Gresham, where there was a lack of communication. So if your talent is unhappy and they don't feel like there's communication, and right now, like I said, Triple H is running WWE and everyone is going to probably want to go back to WWE or go to WWE, you're going to have to make sure that you have talent that are happy in AEW and want to stay in AEW. I think that this is a direct correlation to what happened with Jonathan Gresham, saying that there was no communication and that's why it got to a boiling point. So remember, I was on here saying that that's more of a sign of the lack of talent relations in AEW. So I feel like he's trying to take the necessary steps to make sure that the talent relations department is padded, and also trying to take the steps to make sure that people have those routes of communication to Tony Khan. But at the end of the day, it's going to be something that I have to wait and see how it plays out, because you put a bunch of guys in charge of talent relations, but that doesn't mean that they have communication with you. I hear all the time, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Jon Moxley, all the ex-WWE guys say they rather work for Tony Khan because he's so approachable. He's so accessible. You could go talk to him whenever. And then you have all the undercard guys saying that he's not able to communicate with Tony Khan at all. It's a little weird. So I think that this is going to help that, but it's all going to depend. I know AEW is young. It's still going to go through growing pains, and this is them having to learn the hard way, I guess, and them trying to learn on the fly. But they have to pick it up when it comes to the business side of this. They have a great show, but the business side of it has to pick it up.
Oh, man. Matt Callis, I want to hear your thoughts on this.
It all boils down to how effective how effective and influential these positions are going to be. If it's just not just, because I remember when I listened to the biography of, what was going on in WCW, I think I remember Eric Bischoff was just kind of hanging out with the guys and going to motorcycle bars with them and letting them do moves on them and stuff. It's kind of like a bad hotel manager or something like that. I mean, but I think these talent relations people, especially Madison Rayne, I gotta tell this to those who don't know enough about Madison Rayne. Madison Rayne had the funniest moment with Sting a while back in Impact, because Sting showed his flamboyant funny side. And Sting was like Madison Rayne's like, I have the power, and Sting's like, no, I have the power, and that's the side of, he could bring out some of the funny side of Sting again. She could bring out the funny side of Sting again. So Madison has a lot of great sides to her, and I think she's a great addition. She's been around a minute. Very experienced. She at All In, she was one of the opponents for both Tessa and Britt Baker in that 4-way match. I forgot.
And Deonna Purrazzo.
Deonna Purrazzo. That 4-way dance. Overall, and then Tony Schiavone. I remember he's had positions in the past. I know a lot of people, the talent love him. They hang out with him and all that stuff. So I guess Tony Schiavone has to lean into that, Chelsea Green. Okay.
Oh, there it's Chelsea Green. Okay.
It was Chelsea instead, Deonna.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Thought it was Deonna.
Yeah. Tony Schiavone just needs to lean into the, I guess, whatever authorities are involved in that position. And especially, the different management styles. Because some people it's either my way or the highway. Or, I have a suggestion for this, and I definitely don't recommend you guys doing this way because it could end up like this. There's different ways of approaching leadership, from what I've learned over my years of, working at different jobs and, management to follower, being a Boy Scout. Are you a good lead? You're a good leader if you're a good follower. You're a good follower if you're a good leader. So, you just have to see how it plays out, Is it better to be more hands-on, or is it to be better to be more more, hands off.
I think it's better to be more hands-on, but not when you have your hands on 10 trillion things. Tony Khan is a very busy man. Like, it's not just AEW, it's Ring of Honor, it's the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's the soccer team he has, it's a bunch of shit he has. So the thing is, I think AEW becomes a better company when he lets go of that stranglehold on every department and starts putting people in charge of these departments to take care of it. That's why I feel like AEW did flow a little better when you had Cody, the Bucks, and Kenny Omega in charge of certain, I guess, storylines and actually like helping write the show. Now that TK has like his stranglehold on everything, you could tell like things are getting a little bit more sloppy. And you would think with 3 years in, you should be tightening those screws and not like going backwards.
Guys, I just got the craziest, most wackiest idea. Who's ready for a curveball?
Oh, get it. Go for it.
Ivan, you don't have the video yet?
No, I'm working on it. I forgot to do it.
Yeah, you gotta get Wild Thing.
Okay. Well, yeah, with
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
All right, curveballs to both of you guys.
Oh man, you gonna give me the Jericho nose?
On the ball, Ivan. Just like Nero was
Jericho.
able to catch it. Are you playing outfield?
Yes.
Nero?
Yeah. I'll be playing outfield.
He's playing second base. Ivan must be on second base.
Well, I'm on third base, right, honey? I'm sorry, TVMA. Sorry.
Rated TVMA.
Okay,
Rated TVMA.
But all right, here's my curveball. Craziest. Imagine this person as like the micromanager under Tony Khan. How just insane he would be. Gary Vaynerchuk. Just imagine how insane.
Imagine he's a big wrestling fan.
Wait,
he's a big wrestling fan.
He's a big. Imagine how, because Gary Vaynerchuk, he always talks about the macro versus the micro management.
He lives like 2 minutes from my mom.
He's near you?
Yeah. Well, not near me now. Like I'm in Staten Island, but in Manhattan, he lives like around the corner from my mom.
And he
like,
talks about.
I met him like a couple times. Yeah.
And he's I think him and Tony Khan could know each other because Gary's very active in the football world. Because Gary always talks about buying the New York Jets. Just imagine him like them talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars and Tony Khan and Gary. And then Gary Vaynerchuk comes in an episode of Dynamite. It's like, I'm your new commissioner. All right. You got plenty of time. We got plenty of time.
I just can't see him doing it though. Like
I don't see him doing that. What? Boy. Oh my God.
That would be
he's too animated.
He would
wait.
Wrestling.
He would be like, all right, guys, you ready? We're gonna have a cage match, and inside the cage, we're gonna have it's like
yeah, wrestling is about big personalities. He's a big personality. That would be sick. That would be.
No.
He would cut.
I fuck with Gary V though. Shout out Gary V.
Gary V would cut such insane promos on.
We need Joey Diaz a part of AEW.
Like he would I heard not enough people watch Rampage. Well, you guys got to catch it. Watch catch Rampage. We got Rampage tonight.
When you're not going to garage sales.
I'm gonna go with this garage sales and tell you all about Rampage. All about Rampage, Dynamite, and Ring of Honor. You got to catch it. Totally badass. Commissioner Gary Vaynerchuk here. Sick.
What the fuck, man? What?
He would pull you wouldn't. Anybody who doubts AEW, if they get Gary, he would put fear, across because he's that vicious.
I still say you gotta go with Joey Diaz. Joey Diaz would be better.
Keep on fighting, owl motherfuckers.
Yeah, right. Like fuck the WWE. I fucking wear my ass with the WWE. Fuck them.
What's up, cocksuckers? I heard you Dynamite tonight. Can't say that on TNT, Joey. Man, bunch of pussies out here. Hit that shit. Burn that weed.
Or someone tag Joey Diaz.
Let's hashtag Joey Diaz.
Right?
Joey Diaz and Gary V. Joey Diaz is the commissioner of Rampage, and Gary V is the commissioner of Dynamite.
We're about to manifest this.
To manifest it.
My thoughts of this, even though it's a private owned company, it's not public. Yeah, I agree. In the beginning, he had some structure. Had Kenny involved with the women's division, had Cody involved with the actual talent, had the Bucks pretty much writing the scripts for the show. The problem was this that occurred that TK took over because all of them clashed heads, and that was the issue. And let me say one thing here: these 5 individuals have no experience at all in backstage roles, at all. They have, of course, experience in the ring, but never as a backstage role at all. I agree with comments what Devin said. He should have got this should have been Jerry Lynn involved. Since he got Jerry Lynn, he got Dean Malenko in the beginning before AEW was already beginning, on national television. He had certain veterans there, Dustin as well. He could have assigned to them, but here's the biggest issue: they never worked in those big roles in their lives. All they have been is road agents. All 3 of them that I just mentioned right now. Now that Tony Khan has one man, this one man who should be the one leading your talent relations and helping and should be head creative writer.
I think I already know who you're going to say.
And you already know who the fuck I want to say. And that is Lord William fucking Regal. You have someone, he's been in behind the scenes with Hunter. He helped Hunter, Paul Levesque, to elevate, to put Black and Gold brand in the top of the mountain, along with WWE. He did that with Paul Levesque. He created a story. Yes, blood and guts, or War Games. He did all of that. You have one experience. You have one seniority who has that potential to.
And he's so respected too. Very respected.
Well respected. That who could take your AEW to another level of where it is right now. And I mean in the creative perspective, not the ring performance, in the creative entertainment side, like where it needs a lot of help. Sanjay, for me, I have a lot of respect for him, but do I see him? I see him more a producer working with talent, calling the match. That's fine. Yeah. Tony Schiavone, you're feeling too many hats in his, too many shit in his hats. Like he has too many hats to fill. It's just I would leave Schiavone as a commentator, backstage role guy. That's it. Be your advisor. That's fine, but don't give him senior, senior of the talent relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not disrespecting, Tony Schiavone. Of course, he's been in the business for a long time, but I've never seen him having full capacity of holding those type of big shoes with a roster like that at AEW. Pat Buck, another one too.
That's why I'm saying, even with all the names that are here, it's I don't really know if it changes anything because
it doesn't.
Talent relations was Christopher Daniels, and there was a lot of inexperience with Christopher Daniels in talent relations, and that's why you had a lot of these communication issues. And now you put other unexperienced people in that role. Why not try to get someone who's more experienced with that role? That's what I don't get. I don't know.
I don't get because look, at the end of the day, it still comes down to Tony Khan. All that is going to go back to him. Yeah. They're not the ones making the decisions. They're just going to take whatever they're digressing and hey, well, I'll take the hit, and I'll just take it to Tony Khan and put it in my different words that you wouldn't use. So it's at the end of the day, it still goes to TK. But however, you can use William Regal, who, like you mentioned, is well respected, who's been in the business, inside the ring, outside the ring, who has worked backstage roles, who has the knowledge and the experience of creative, producing, all of that. He's a man that I guarantee you put him full, in high command, that roster will bow down to him and show him the respect. They will not have the balls what Jonathan Gresham did to Tony Khan to his face. No, they won't do it to Regal. Because they
slap
know
the shit out you.
They'll
rip your fucking nose off.
He'll just fucking besmirch you. That's what he'll do. So this is why it doesn't change anything. I'm not bashing on the people that were named. Kudos to Madison. She is a great addition, but she will help the women develop on their mic skills. That's for sure. If you haven't seen her mic skills in Impact, go back and watch Impact because she is a fantastic person when it comes to that. But Pat Buck, like I said, it's not gonna make no difference to me. It doesn't. The only way for someone to have respect in that roster backstage, put William Regal. You fucking put William Regal in charge, head creative, and have him be an EVP. Have Christopher Daniels be the assistant EVP.
Or at least go out and hire somebody who has an experience with working with talent. You know what I mean? And all different types of talent. Like, I think you want to talk about curveballs. I think a curveball would have been go out and hire someone like Gabe Sapolsky, who was involved with Ring of Honor, worked with a lot of different fucking personalities, and everybody respects him though, right? If you put him in charge of talent relations, I'm sure people will respect him and it would make a difference. But putting guys that have no experience, like it doesn't really make a change in my opinion. Like I don't know what this is going to do. Christopher Daniels had no experience, and look at where talent relations is now. Then you hire a bunch of more guys who don't have no experience with talent relations, and then you're going to put them in that position. It's just going to be like the blind leading the blind.
Yes, big move was moving up Chris Daniels with that group. Yeah, I mean it is, but I mean still Daniels does have the experience, of course. From yes, he does. I do remember he was like a booker for Ring of Honor, but he wasn't the head booker. That was Delirious. Delirious was the one who was in charge. I think prior to Delirious, it was Marty Scurll, so who was working on that during that time. But I mean, regardless of these additions, these title names that you give to these people, I'm not disrespecting them, but it's not enough for me to convince me that there's going to be a proper infrastructure and a proper communication with TK. There is not going to change no matter what. At the end of the day, it still goes to TK. He's the final word, final say, unless he is willing to give that creative freedom to them to go ahead and do what you want. But we wait to wait and see. I would like to see that. I want to hear it from his mouth to say that. So I'm looking forward to seeing. So that was the debate of the week for that one. The lack of communication still part 2, because last week we talked about it. And
communication is key.
That is right. And now it is time, baby. It is time.
Vader time.
It's not Vader time. It is
Dynamite!
That is right, because it is time for some Dynamite recap here, ladies and gentlemen. Man, talk about prediction. Talk about Attitude Era, which I will explain why. I want to talk about
Facts.
Shout out to Jump in the Ring, because they said that too on their recap episode. And when I saw it myself, like before I saw their recap, I saw Dynamite. I made great minds think alike. Shout out to Jump in the Ring, but Jesus, man. Yes, listen to AEW Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the first opening match, Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. And, of course, Lethal with the win. Great upset for Lethal. He was really working on the legs of Orange Cassidy. But, obviously, Cassidy came up short, fortunately. And, of course, we did see Lethal challenging Wardlow for the TNT belt, which will happen Saturday's Battle of the Belts. Now, it's a two-part question. So I'll take it to you, Matt Callis, and then De Niro. Matt Callis, your thoughts about the match and your thoughts of Lethal challenging Wardlow, and is that a good, perfect fit?
This match really reminds me of, because you were talking about, Attitude Era. This definitely has like late Attitude Era vibes or Invasion Era vibes, because the psychology in this, I really like the psychology in this match, because it reminds me of, like the level of heel that Jay Lethal is, and the level of babyface Orange Cassidy is. Like, everybody loves Orange Cassidy to the point he didn't really need the win too much. I think Jay Lethal needs to be like re-legitimized in the public as like the powerful champion that he is. While Orange Cassidy, everybody already loves him, as a result. Everybody was cheering like the small things he does. So, I think this was definitely a big moment. As for the next, Jay Lethal versus Jay Lethal and Wardlow, I think that'll be a pretty good match coming up. I think we'll get a lot of good stuff out of it. I think it's a new classic. I don't think Jay Lethal should win. Wardlow should still get established. But then again, I think Jay Lethal missed out on that. He wasn't able to get the TNT title from, was it the Sammy Guevara match?
Yeah,
a while back. So I guess he's still somewhat due one. So despite maybe Wardlow should have at least maybe some other defense before dropping this title, if he does drop the title, it feels too soon, to open the present, to open the Christmas presents under the tree.
Oh yes,
the stories do matter.
I agree.
Yes, agreed. De Niro, take it away.
I thought the match was good. I was scared at points that Jay Lethal wasn't going to win. And I like Orange Cassidy, but I think that it's a shame that since coming to AEW, Jay Lethal is not treated like a megastar. Jay Lethal is a star. Everybody outside sees it. Everybody outside knows it. They all say that Jay Lethal is a star. He's probably, in my opinion, after, I always thought of, Sting was the greatest wrestler never to go to WWE. Then when he went, I thought, all right, AJ Styles is the greatest wrestler never to go to WWE. And then when he went, for some reason, it instantly went to Jay Lethal. Jay Lethal is right now, I think, in my opinion, the greatest wrestler not to be in WWE. So I think that he hasn't been treated like such in AEW. And, we barely see him. And then when we do see him, he's losing. So I'm glad that he picked up this victory. I just am, I think that it's not the right time for him to go against Wardlow because Wardlow's going to win that match, I think, obviously. So it's going to be another loss for Jay Lethal. I thought that, put him in a feud with the best friends, have him have matches against Trent and Chuck Taylor and have him go into different feuds. Don't put him in another title shot. He's going to lose. I also think that it was interesting that they did not mention that he was just in a huge main event this past weekend. There was no mention of the Ric Flair main event. And I thought maybe that was because they weren't going to mention the event at all. But then we see highlights of Mance Warner winning the Battle Royal. So if you want to show highlights of Mance Warner winning the Battle Royal, you can show highlights of Jay Lethal beating the shit out of Ric Flair and make him look like a bigger star. That would make him look like a bigger star on TV. You could say, hey, this past weekend, Jay Lethal beat the crap out of Ric Flair, of all people. Show that stuff because if not, you're going to just make him another guy. What's going to make him different than everybody else? In every other company, Jay Lethal stood out because he was different. Now it's all right, he's just one of the pack. And that's a big problem with AEW. But I think that Jay Lethal winning was good here. I just don't know if it's the right decision to put him against Wardlow so quickly because, in my opinion, it's going to be another loss because Wardlow has to win that matchup. Wardlow has to continue to dominate that title.
I just hope we don't see a fucking squash match because it's a shame if we see that from Jay Lethal, how you mentioned a star at his, of course, Impact, Ring of Honor mainly, a former Ring of Honor world champion. And for him to lose to Wardlow in 5 minutes. I know, Liz. I know Liz. I know he's your vato. He's your man. But I'm tired of this shit. No.
We should have at least an hour. They should have an hour-long match or something, or 40.
The show's only an hour. There's 4 matches booked, so you know that match is going to be quick. That's the problem. You know it's going to be quick.
Yeah. Oh, no. Well, I gotta group Jay Lethal in with Kenny Omega and Brian Cage because you talk about greatest wrestlers to never go to WWE. I think of those three as the flag bearers for their organizations, like Brian Cage with Impact and Jay Lethal with Ring of Honor and Kenny Omega with New Japan. Those are I know at different periods of time, WWE has had their checkbooks out for them, ready to bid for them, but they stayed loyal to the outer world, the non-WWE world. So they should be rewarded for not, biting the hook and going to the surface.
WWE was interested in Jay Lethal right before he signed to AEW, and he chose AEW, and he's been treated like a jobber. But just in response to Dan saying that they didn't show it because Andrade was a heel, you don't even have to show Andrade. Just show a clip of Jay Lethal in the ring with Ric Flair. You don't have to show a clip of the whole match. Just show him beating Ric Flair in the corner or something, or chopping Ric Flair, or just show him versus Flair. You didn't have to show everything else. I think that they really missed the boat on that. Because if, I said, if you're going to show Mance Warner and show clips of the Ric Flair show, then why not show Jay Lethal? That would build him up even more. All right, look, he deserves a title shot because he just beat Orange Cassidy, but this past weekend he was in a match with a legend and he beat up Ric Flair. It would have built him up more. I don't think AEW takes that chance on those opportunities where you could build stars up more with the video packages, with just mere mentions of it. Forget even showing it. Say it on commentary. Jay Lethal coming off of a match with the legendary Ric Flair, going against Orange Cassidy. Like, you couldn't even mention that? Tony Schiavone was calling the matchup, and he called the Ric Flair matchup. You were there, Tony. You couldn't even fucking say it? Like, come on.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, man.
Son of a bitch.
That's right.
I'll digress.
I digress, damn it. We're digressing.
That's fucking bullshit.
No, you're bullshit, damn it, because you're fucking it up for Jay Lethal here. Damn it.
Every time we talk to Tony Khan, it's like it reminds me of that Weird Al thing where he's like, "No, I don't want to flirt with you. No, I don't want to go on dates." Maybe like Eminem's like, maybe we should get some decent guys. And no, I'm sorry, Eminem, I'm taken.
Oh yeah, like that mock interview.
Yeah.
And now we get what we all been waiting for. We all knew it. It was bound to happen. And I'm here to fucking say it. I said it here watching the archives as well. Circle the Debate, subscribe if you haven't. But yes, I've been saying it for quite some time. It's going to happen. The Civil War is happening. And now we're having the Undisputed Elite broken up. Adam Cole showing up. Fish and O'Reilly. Young Bucks. You can't participate in the tournament, buddy. So it looks like you're going to be decapitated. And there you go. And we get it. And it happened. So it happened.
I love your Adam Cole impersonation.
And then, of course, we get, why? No, you know what?
That was amazing.
That was amazing. Better than the Miz one. But that's debatable right there. But yes, I know the crowd was all. Not me, because this guy right here did not give two shits that it happened. Because no, I didn't. Hey yo, what the fuck? No, what I went was that's what I went, because finally, for God's sakes, it was gonna happen.
Yep.
Now we see Hangman Page running and making the save. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it reunited, and it feels so good. We're gonna get that now. The Hung Bucks. But what about Kenny, man? What about Kenny Omega? We don't know what's gonna happen with that, but
yeah,
it's the Civil War.
I want Kenny.
It's gonna be a Civil War watch, because now you're gonna have that Undisputed Elite, which is of course Red Dragon and Cole. They're gonna join the OG Bullet Club, Jay White's Bullet Club, and then you're gonna have, of course, the Good Brothers turning on the Bucks with, of course, Jay White. Then you're gonna have the Guerrillas of Destiny coming over, and then you're gonna have the Elite faction all back together fighting these individuals. Let's fucking go, Tony Khan. Make it happen, damn it. This is supposed to be happening. The Civil War should happen already. It should happen. And
word, Tony, if you make that shit happen, I take back all the bad shit I just said.
Such a great story. Shout out to Bobby Fischer. Smooth. Yes, he did. Smooth
Definitely.
takedown. I'll say one thing, what Devin just said. I'll give them props, but I cannot give the Young Bucks props for shit. Horrible settling from I don't know if it was. Did you see? Okay, who was it? Was it Nick or was it no? Yeah, it wasn't Nick. No. Matt Jackson was. Yeah, Matt. He said, hey, "What are you doing?" Okay, right after that, they grab your brother Nick in the chokehold, and you're looking at him like, "What are you doing?" And then Colorado. That was the slowest sell I've ever seen from the fucking Young Bucks.
Ivan, we should get a clip of the Turkish movie where the guy keeps getting shot. Like,
oh yeah, I've seen that clip. It's like,
I'm sorry, it was the worst sell. And
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you think that the Young Bucks are disconnected to AEW right now? Do you think
I
they're
so.
like kind of over it? Because for the last couple months, I've been seeing that.
NXT.
But for the past couple months, I don't know. I haven't mentioned anything, but I've been saying like to myself, like they just look like they're out of it right now. Like they look like they're not motivated at all. And I don't know what it is, but matchup wise, like, yeah, they look like, the regular Young Bucks, but for some reason, like when they're cutting promos or just like doing any segments, like they look like they have like their little pouty faces on, and it's like they don't want to be there. So I don't know. Like, are we going to see 2 more EVPs gone?
I don't see it. I think what it is that they're waiting for the right time. Thank you so much. Shout out to Lennox Coleman. Thank you so much, man. Love you so much. Yes, yes. And Red Coaster. I mean, it's. I think when Kenny Omega comes back, it's gonna happen on fruition. We're gonna see this elite coming back again. It's gonna happen. It's bound to happen. And I think that's what the Bucks are waiting for. I think I'm with you too. There could be too that they're probably like, what the fuck? You made us win the tag team titles because, of course, the Hardys fucked up for Jeff, I would say, but he fucked up. Because that's what they had to change everything up in a different direction, but making them lose that quick, okay, I get that. I get your point that they look like they're not really intrigued with AEW right now. They're like, but they've been doing BTE though. Like they always do that. I'm used to them doing that. I think they're waiting for the right moment when the whole Hangman comes to reuniting. Once they hug and they fucking kiss and make up, then that's it. We'll see a different Young Bucks. I'll mark my word on that. I'm saying it right now at 11 o'clock, 11:10 Eastern Standard Time, 10 o'clock, 10 Pacific, 8 Central, and 9:10 Pacific. August the 4th. There you go. A long day. But yes, I mean, that's what I feel. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Talk to me. Talk to me, De Niro. Talk to me about the segment.
I like the segment. I'm just scared that Kenny Omega is not going to be a part of this. I think that it would have made more sense for Kenny Omega to make his big return and make the save and then have the trios match at All Out. But having Hangman a part of this tells me that Kenny Omega is not ready to come back. And, because if it's 3-on-3, you can't have Kenny coming back. Then what's going to happen? You can't have one team at 4 versus 3 because, who's the undisputed – well, I guess they're not elite anymore. The undisputed era, I'll call them. Like, who's going to be their fourth man? Like, Roderick Strong ain't going to be their fourth man. So it's like, what happens here? Is Kenny Omega still not ready? Or another thing that I could see is maybe the undisputed era takes out Adam Page, and then we have to see Kenny Omega come back. But, there was rumors that Kenny Omega was coming back for these trios titles. He was coming back for All Out, and he was going to be ready for All Out. And now, like, with Adam Page inserted into the storyline, it kind of tells me he wouldn't be, because I thought that the Civil War was going to be, and I'm sure you did too, Ivan, the Civil War was going to be Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks versus Fish, Cole, and O'Reilly, not the Young Bucks and Hangman Page. So I don't know. It leaves me more questions about Kenny, but nonetheless, I'm all for this because Adam Page and the Young Bucks was a great trio in Ring of Honor. So hopefully, we'll see some good shit here. We're going to keep Kenny. Yeah, I would love that too. There's a lot of shit talk being back and forth between them. Cease and desist.
Yes, Mackels.
I think another possibility is the reunion, because now that we don't have Undisputed Elite, we could get back the Golden Elite. We get Kota Ibushi in the picture, because that's another possibility. Those are two people that are recovering, but we don't really know the full story of what Kota Ibushi's injury and recovery timetable looked like. So who knows? Like, Kenny could make a save, but we won't see him in ring action for a while. So he could just be kind of not quite a manager, but kind of just in their corner, just in the meantime, as like reinforcements in a way until he's 100% again. I mean, the only other thing as the other guy, I think they're probably going to joke around with Brandon Cutler for a little bit just because he's there, and Michael Nakazawa.
Oh man, please don't bring Nakazawa back.
No, my God, no. But I look at okay. I think it's gonna lead to. It's gonna have to lead to the Civil War. At All Out, the Humbugs loses. Cole and O'Reilly Fish win the trios. Of course, they get Then the OG Bullet Club comes. The Good Brothers, and then you got Kenny Omega making the rescue, and then there you have it. It's gonna happen. I mark my word, it's gonna happen. That's if Omega is ready, but right now he's too busy with with the release of the game console, which by the way, it looks fantastic. Shout out THQ for doing a great job, and I cannot wait. Pre-order your and Fight Forever All Elite.
I got a lot of shit to say about that too, but I'll digress on that too. Because I think the game looks dope. And just real quick, everybody who was playing WWE 2K games, they were all like, "Oh, we wanted to go back to an arcade style. There's too much real match simulation." And all of a sudden, AEW gives you an arcade style game, and it's like, "Oh, it doesn't look realistic like the 2K games." Fuck you. Like, man, that game looks fire. Like, I can't wait for that game to come out.
Oh man, me neither. All right, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus, of course, Thunderstorm, Thunder Rosa, and Tony Storm. Very quick. I just realized too much. Now, so ever since TK, I think TK is watching what Hunter's doing. I think he is. I'll give a shit if you guys don't believe it, but I feel Tony Khan is watching the product. He is watching WWE. He's watching what
he said he did on a podcast. I believe he did a podcast called My Mom's Basement Podcast.
Oh,
and he did mention that he does watch WWE Raw and SmackDown. He said he's a fan of wrestling before anything, and I watch everything. So he's watching the product, and he's always mentioning their ratings. So like he's definitely viewing the product.
Oh yeah, and so I'm pretty sure he didn't mention their Raw ratings this week, did he? I don't know if he did. I wonder if he did. No, right?
No.
No. You don't want to talk about. Don't talk shit, Tony. God, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. But other than that, he did give this 4 women did had a long. This was over a little bit 10 minutes, if I'm correct. I don't know. It felt over 10 minutes for me. It didn't feel under. But kind of for me, shout out to all these 4 women. Did a great job. One scary moment was when I don't know if you noticed that Hayter was when she was pinning Tony Storm. That drop kick from Rosa out of nowhere. Man, that was
right on the money.
Right on the money. That shit was scary because it could lead to injury, breaking your back. Yes. Man, this match, yes. They did a great job. And I think I'm enjoying that. I want to see what they're going to go next with it. I don't know if eventually we're going to see you get a belt and you get a belt. We get AEW Women's Tag Team titles. Oh, no, if it does happen. But
and then AEW Women's Trios titles.
Oh, no, it's going to happen. Jesus. Just make it a mixed one, like AAA. Mixed tag titles, like trios, mixed trios. Why not? I mean, shit. Yeah. Why not? But we'll see. We'll see down the line. Take it away, De Niro. Your thoughts on this match?
I thought it was good to see the women get a lot of time and a lot of shine. I thought that this was a really good matchup. And if you look at the caliber of the 4 women that was in the ring, then you have to expect a good matchup. I thought it was a nice touch also to have Jamie Hayter get the victory. And then she now gets a title shot against Thunder Rosa at Battle for the Belts. So I think that, Jamie Hayter's a good wrestler, and I don't want her to be stuck in Britt Baker's shadow. So it's good that she got a little shine on this episode here.
Oh, no, she did, definitely. And I was happy for her, man. It's about time. We need to see Jamie Hayter up there.
Yep.
Matt Callis.
Yeah, De Niro took the words right out of my mouth with Jamie Hayter. She was such a great, singles competitor back during her Stardom days when she had the half blonde, half black hairstyle. She had this very distinctive look that everybody knew her from, but she kind of left it behind. So she's got like a new look in AEW, but she kind of has to, bring out a little bit more of that, of that old singles era Jamie Hayter. In this match, it may have been a tag team, but I'd rather see a lot of these matchups more as singles, but it leads to it later on down the line though. So Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter, I'm definitely looking forward to it big time. That'll be a really good one, and we'll get to see that, that Gaijin Joshi, Gaikokujin Joshi flavor.
Okay. I see what you mean. All right. And of course, I'm going to miss him. But Taz announced it. Team Taz is no mas. It's over.
They ran their course.
Yeah. It was fun while it lasted. take a picture, look at it right there. The homeboys right there. Hey, it is all over.
The hell is Hook wearing? High water leathers.
What's he?
The high water leathers. What the hell is he wearing?
Ivan, I need to start giving you the Simpsons wrestling memes because like one of the most recent memes is like Hook asking his dad, is like, Dad, what's the point of this belt? And then Taz is like, I like belts. I like wrestling memes. Simpsons wrestling memes.
How do you feel, man? And how do you feel about Team Taz no more? Are you was fun while it lasted? What are your thoughts?
With all the different turns, Ricky Stark's babyface, Hook babyface, the utility of it isn't quite there. But I guess Taz could be a manager for his son. We could get maybe a little bit of that down the line, kind of how Ric Flair was doing manager stuff for his daughter with Charlotte. So we could get a little bit of that flavor.
He'll be a good mouthpiece for Hook for sure.
Yeah. And his dad would do a pretty good job. Especially, we've seen a lot of good father-son manager type things going on, and there is that the audience kind of has something they can empathize with. It's like, oh no, what if that's my dad, or what if that's my son? And that's something the audience kind of gets hooked on to because they see, a family, a relationship that they could relate to with that. So I know there's going to be a lot of that. That's something they should definitely pull the trigger on, and it could work either babyface or heel. Either or. So, I down the line, another father-son duel, and then in the next segment, we're going to talk about another father-sons thing. Is that the next segment, Ivan?
Oh, wait, another father? No. The next segment is pretty much, which is 30 and the cage.
But we get De Niro didn't talk about.
Oh, that's right. So,
just Team Taz. Like I think they ran their course. I really did like the team of Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, but since Taz was a regular on commentary like lately, I don't think that Taz really played a part in this whole team to begin with for like the last couple months. So it wasn't really Team Taz. It was just Starks and Hobbs. So I feel like Team Taz being no more, it's fine because Team Taz was already no more if you think about it. Like Hook wasn't associated with them ever since he started wrestling. And then when Starks and Hobbs was a tag team, Taz wasn't coming down with them to ringside. He was on commentary. So like we haven't really had Team Taz. This was just, them finally announcing it. So it's probably going to just be what it has been.
Yeah, it is. It is unfortunate. All right, Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage. Another Monday Night Raw match here in the Attitude Era, ladies and gentlemen.
Running it back.
Shout out to the person in the front row who had a sign that said, I played this matchup on No Mercy on N64.
I want to look for that picture.
Yeah, if you go.
I had to look for that. No, fucking wait. They really put that?
There was somebody with that. Yeah, hold on. I think someone had it on the Botchamania Facebook page. I'm going to go on right now.
Oh, no way. Whoever put that, genius. I loved it. But
I don't know if you can see that. But...
Oh, yeah. Okay, now, yeah. There you go.
And then if you look, it was...
Oh, my... Awkward picture, right? Jesus.
Yeah, for real. If I'm not a wrestling fan, I see that when I'm scrolling down.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, I'm scrolling down.
Thanks.
Oh, but you know what? I give it a Maz. He's still got it. He's still moving around, but I think it's about time for him to retire.
I cannot believe this shit.
Well, believe it, Tucker, because he should. Because I think it's about time for, of course, Matt Hardy to bye-bye. But we'll wait because we have to wait for your brother Brother Nero. We have to wait till he comes back. And for you guys to get your last tag team title.
Wonderful.
Yes, wonderful. Exactly. But I enjoyed it. It was okay. Of course, we just see Jungle Boy coming out, trying to make the save, and becoming a man. He's becoming a man. A real man's man. But I'm going to say this right now. That backstage shit I was not sold. He looked too serious. Like when he came out of the car, okay, he tried to run over Christian. I did like that part. He came out and he's sort of like, hey, I just didn't like his serious. Like like his face is not like, it's not selling to me. It's not selling me. It's not selling me. It's not investing me what he's doing. It's just like, you look like you're like want to laugh, that you're having fun, but you look like I would have gone crazy. Yeah. Like having those security guards hold me back. You motherfucker! Like, you know, yes, I will go crazy.
Oh,
like
you motherfuckers! You think you can do this to me?
That's right. You gotta be like that crazy, damn it. That fucking crazy. Man, Jungle Boy, you need what Vince always says. I want to say regardless. Because, you know, you need that ruthless aggression. You do. You need it.
Ruthless aggression.
We got to see it more, Jungle Boy. Eventually, we're going to see it all out. So that's what's going to happen. But take it away, DeNiro.
For the segment was okay. Like, I understand what they're trying to portray, but, you know, I would like to see Jungle Boy actually, like, this is what I don't get. Like, you have someone talking shit about your dead dad and your mother. Like, it shouldn't have to be like you acting to get this like type of energy from you. Like, it should be kind of natural. Like, just put yourself, if this was real, like someone's talking about your dead dad, you should want to just kill him. You know what I mean? So, like, I think that it would be a little bit better if it was a little bit more realistic. But as for the matchup, yeah, the matchup was decent. I do agree. Like, I think that we were seeing like the final days of Matt Hardy, like wrestling. He looked like he had like knee issues. I don't know, like, all due respect to Matt Hardy, I'm a big Hardy Boys fan, but I don't want to see him get hurt by going out there and thinking he can still go, especially going through tables like he did. Like, to be honest, the matchup, I don't think this matchup needed to happen. I don't want Matt Hardy to get hurt, and he's the guy who got hurt a couple times in the last couple of years, so I would like to prevent that from happening. So, nonetheless, the matchup was all right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. Back Callis.
You know, Matt Hardy, I think his specialty in this time period should be in more like promos and management, and you know, he's great on the mic right now. You know, he should probably do more of that because you know it's more, you know, Broken Matt Hardy's isn't known for the moves; it's for the it's for the words, the wonderful, you know, all that stuff. You know, and them transporting to different universes and all that good times. You know, that's what we watch it for. We don't watch it. It ain't Stunt 101 anymore. It's time, space, continuum 101. You know, we ain't the G unit. It ain't Stunt 101.
It ain't that. No. Oh, this is the one that I'm intrigued. And I want to see what's this going to happen. And I'm talking about with Ethan Page. As of right now, we know that Scorpio's out with an injury. Unfortunately, American Top Team, they need to obviously, step up their game on their camp because after what we saw UFC 277, Nunes is no longer their part of their camp. So Nunes got a new training partner, a new camp that she has. Because, she left because of this, obviously having, them getting involved with professional wrestling with too much distraction. And looks like, and right now they need to focus on making American Top Team more serious. And that's why I'm kind of glad. I'm going to miss, I can't believe I forgot his name. I cannot believe it. Well, what is it again?
Dan Lambert.
I'm going to miss Dan Lambert. But it had its fun course. Now we need to see something different from Ethan Page. Stokely came out, which I'm intrigued. Now I want to see where they're going to go with this. Because remember, he gave it to Lee Moriarty and now Ethan Page. This is going to be intriguing to see. I'm really, really excited of what we're going to get. And of course, this is like, again, another one busting a busting an MJF. Like, oh, I'm tired. I want my moment to shine. It's about me. Where's my brass ring, damn it? It should have been me. But no, too bad. Too bad, man.
But I mean, I just hope this is not another situation where it leads to nothing, because we see a lot of that. Like we see like these little things and they lead to nothing. There hasn't been any mention of anything with Lee Moriarty, and now like we got Ethan Page, and during the segment it was really weird. Like Stokely was just standing there in the ring, like at least put your hands in your pockets. Your arms were just dangling. It was weird, but he was just like standing there like awkward, and then he says something to Ethan Page, and Ethan Page walks off with him. But this is the second week in a row that we see this, but there was no mention of anything else after this or of what happened last week with Lee Moriarty on Rampage. So I hope that this doesn't lead to nothing. I hope that we do see someone like Ethan Page elevated because of this, because Ethan Page has all the talent in the world. He could talk. He has the size. There should be no reason why this guy is not in, upper mid-card matches.
Thank you. Hold on. No, wait. This. Why did someone fucking say it? Jesus Christ.
Let me do that again. Hey, yo, let's give a quick shout out to Christina Apple.
I'm so confused. I don't know why Christina Applegate. Why? Okay,
it's an Eric Andre joke. It's an Eric Andre reference.
Okay, fine. All right. I was waiting for a curveball there because we had Optimum. I was waiting for a curveball. That's what I was waiting for.
Eric Andre, right?
Okay, I have to go back and look at that, or send it to us in the chat. But
Word.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, McAllis. What are you intrigued? What can we see? What's next for Ethan Page and Stokely? What is Stokely up to? What the hell?
They got more fellas coming to this faction. I guess he's gonna be the baddie Ethan Page now.
Oh God!
What?
Oh God!
He's gonna sit in the baddie section.
No.
Cut the shit.
Cut the shit. No, it's gonna be. Is he gonna be doing that?
Oh man!
Whatever baby face is gonna face Ethan Page is like, Ethan Page, that ain't your wife. Go home.
No.
Wife. And that's his whole promo. And that's gonna be like that, like whatever babyface uses that's gonna be his new catchphrase. Ethan Page, that ain't your wife. Go home.
Oh no. I don't know. Did there any final thoughts? Are you intrigued? What do you think? What can you predict of this? Are we seeing another faction in the making? Do we see that
happening? I think we are, but I mean, I don't know. I don't see anything coming out of this unless like you do something with Impact, not Impact Wrestling, but like make an impact on the show. I mean, right? Like have Lee Moriarty and Ethan Page next week come out during the main event or something, just jump whoever's in the main event. Like, that's actually a good idea. Like after Jon Moxley beats Chris Jericho, have Ethan Page and Lee Moriarty with Stokely Hathaway come out and jump Jon Moxley. Put him in there against upper talent, because that's how you're going to like make this mean something. Like if they go in there and they fucking feud with Dante Martin and Matt Sydal, like come on, like no disrespect to them, but like it's not really going to mean anything. You're going to get a few dark AEW dark matches and maybe a Rampage main event. You're not going to get like real elevation, and you want to elevate your game. And guys like Ethan Page and even Lee Moriarty, like these are guys that you want to take to the next level and elevate them. And I'm not talking AEW elevation either. Gosh, Impact Wrestling elevation. Like what the fuck I'm doing?
What the hell did you just say?
You know, I gotta say this about Ethan Page and Stokely feuding with like Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. That's kind of like Escalator Land and it's like Escalator Land in whatever that show was. It's like, hey, when do we get on the ride? This is the ride. Like Ethan's like, when are we gonna get our big opponent? This is the opponent.
Do you know that Matt Sydal was a former WWE like tag team champion? Like I don't know, man. Like that's what. But honestly, like all jokes aside, that's what they do though. Like we have somebody start a faction and then like they make no impact. Like go attack the main event. Like that would be something that would give Jon Moxley at least like 2 opponents until CM Punk comes back. You could do Ethan Page versus Jon Moxley for the title. You could do Lee Moriarty against Jon Moxley. Especially like Lee Moriarty was another guy that Bryan Danielson was saying, what could we do with him if he joined the Blackpool Combat Club? If you remember, like he was one of the names. They said Lee Moriarty, Wheeler Yuta, and Daniel Garcia. So like there's some ties there. So you could do something like that. But if joining Stokely means you're still in the mid card, then why join Stokely?
Yeah, I mean, it's just curious to see what they're gonna. If they mix it with the women as well, like I would like to see that, especially with Jade Cargill. So I'm intrigued of what they're gonna, what next level they're gonna do. So we'll just have to wait and see. Coming up in these upcoming weeks, heading into All Out, so we're already heading toward that direction.
Word.
Speaking of
a good match coming out of Mox and Ethan Page, that would be a great matchup.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, I think it would be. Speaking of direction, this is a no-no. I just want to say it right now. Oh yeah, you want to get choked out? You want to get choked? I'll choke you out. Oh yeah, you want to choke out too? I'll choke you out. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'll choke you out.
Jungle Boy, get your girl. She's drunk.
She is.
He was like, she's like, I'm the sexiest wrestler in the world. I'm the most dangerous wrestler. I'm also good at tiling the roof. I'm also good at I could drive trucks. I'm good at science.
What?
It's like Anna Jay's new gimmick's gonna be like, I'm good at everything.
What?
And they better not run with this Anna JAS. That's the stupidest name ever. Like,
oh no, she is. She is. I can't say it out loud because I'm gonna get in trouble. But other than that, yes, that segment. I had to do. No, it's just. Oh my god!
I had to do it to him. I had to do it to.
Twice already did it for Anna Jay. I mean, I'm sorry. Ever since she left, the Dark Order, she went with Jack. It's terrible. I'm sorry, this doesn't fit. She needs mic work, man. She needs some mic work for sure. I'm sorry.
Anna Jay,
but I'm a pro wrestling fan. She
too
needs
soon.
mic work. Oh man, I don't know. You tell me, Dinero, she needs fucking mic work. What's going on?
Nah, yeah, she definitely needs mic work, and it's her gimmick now. She like chokes everybody out. Like it never really was her like forte. Like when she was a baby, she wasn't a submission style wrestler, was she? Like I don't remember her being a submission style wrestler. So now all of a sudden she chokes people out. Like it just doesn't fit her, and it comes off mad corny as hell. Like I don't know, it's just corny.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's just
and changing it and a JAS. Like man, that's almost as bad as Nikki ASH. Like stop that shit. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Anna Jay needs to get in her car, make a U-turn back to Babyfaceville, so she doesn't end up in Jobberville. It's like oh no, maybe a double turn. It's like oh I was put here by the Dark Order to infiltrate or whatever. I don't know.
Her finisher was the Queen. Her finisher is the Queen Slayer, which is a sleeper. We know that, but it's
weird nature. Yeah,
it's a fucking.
I forgot her finisher, so thank you, Dan, because I didn't know if that was like something that she was doing to people before she was a heel, like because now all of a sudden she chokes people out. Like,
but I guess that goes to show that she wasn't able to make it memorable, especially for us that watch the show week in and week out. Like I remember it, but I didn't remember it was called that.
Yeah.
All I can tell you that the guy she choked out, that was memorable for him. So I know he should be feeling happy. I can tell you that right now. I didn't say anything. He
said I'll work for free that night.
Is that right? Oh yeah. Oh, that's for sure. Who wouldn't want to work for free for that? That is
hell yes.
Yes, that's right. All right, we get to another Attitude Era. We're gonna get into another Attitude Dumpster match. Why do I say it's an Attitude Era? Because of course, bringing in, of course, you didn't know your ass better call somebody. Why did fucking Judge Road Dogg didn't show up, man? Look at this. Of course, this is the Attitude Era we had here. Look at that. That is right. Oh man. That's right. Cactus Jack, Chainsaw Charlie versus the New Age Outlaws. We had of course, the dumpster match, which is the Acclaim versus the Gun Club. Yes, a dumpster match. I called it that way. But
I didn't expect you to say it like that.
It was it was a fucking. I mean, was it? I'm not saying it was the best or the worst. It was just a fill-in for me. But good to see them over. Good to see the Acclaim over against the Ass Boys. But that fall that was nasty. So that's why I called it the dumpster match, because it was like,
nice.
But it was a nasty fall. But it was co-main event, not bad. Good for the Acclaim. They got over. Sister Big Daddy. Right. Take it away, Deniro, for this dumpster match.
I feel like this is another case of AEW doing gimmick matches just to have a gimmick match per show. Like, this didn't have to be a dumpster matchup. They just trying to rehash some shit that the WWE did back in the 90s. And, especially with Billy Gunn being involved in that segment back in the 90s, they're trying to rehash that here. I don't know. Like, it could have just been a street fight. I feel like they could have had their dumpster spot in the matchup, but it could have just been a street fight. Like, just to have a dumpster matchup, it just is weird. Like, that. It's also weird because they don't really build up to these things. Like, it's like, oh, well, this week we're having a dumpster match. Next week we're having a ladder match. The next week after that we're having a lights out match. It's like there's no build up to the gimmick match. So does the gimmick match really matter if it's not being built up to? Like, that's the only thing that bothers me. Shout out to Max Caster's rap, especially the Vince McMahon line. That was pretty dope. I like the matchup, and I think that's a matter of time before we see Road Dogg, because even if you notice the subtleties, right? Go look at Max Caster's tights and the design, and look at the Road Dogg's attire for WrestleMania 14 in the Dumpsters match. The tight design was identical. And I knew that because I literally saw that on the Wrestling Delorean.
I didn't pitch states to that. Oh, okay.
Remember I said on this show a couple weeks ago that I could see Road Dogg getting involved with this storyline. And now we're seeing more like hat nods to the New Age Outlaw. So it'll be interesting. And Road Dogg was very vocal. He said that he thinks that he could do a lot of good for AEW and he could help structure their show, which I would be interested in them bringing him in as a backstage role. But nonetheless, this matchup itself, that spot at the end, it actually flipped over. That could have ended in a real bad injury. I know they had like the little foam, whatever you call those, like foam little nuggets that they put in like packaging, like the packaging foam inside the dumpster. But honestly, that could have ended really bad, because if you remember when that happened to Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie, it just landed on its side. Oh, yeah. This fully flipped over. Like, that could have ended in a couple broken bones. So thank God Austin and Colton Gunn are okay, because God knows what could have happened. So for sure, like, I'm glad that they're okay.
Oh man, definitely, indeed. Matt Callis.
I gotta say that aside from the spots in the match, I gotta say it was a good moment for the Acclaim to really be, somewhat in a more prominent position. Because I remember when they started out as they were just guys on Dark, so they went from Dark and they rose up through the ranks. And so was the Gun Club though over the years, and you really got to see them blossom as a group. I mean, I just recently listened to Anthony Bowen's appearance on Chris Jericho's podcast, and I listened to how they were put together. The Acclaimed really is Tony Khan's brainchild. Like, he put them together as a group. He came up with the name. That was originally what Tony Khan wanted to call Chris Jericho's faction. He didn't want to call them the Inner Circle. He wanted to call them the Acclaimed. It wanted it to be like, Buddy Holly and the Crickets. He wanted it to be Chris Jericho and the Acclaimed. Was originally original. But it was kind of cool seeing them like in this prominent spot, being dominant as a tag team. I mean, it would have just a regular match, I think, would have worked just as well, if not better. We could kind of get to see them work as, rather than with the weapons, you got to kind of see them, work with the tools in the arsenal. It's kind of like, if I compare the music, it's like a guitar player without the effects, without the what. When you don't got the weapons, you got to strip it down. You know, we're doing a stripped down show at a small venue. You know,
I feel like AEW goes backwards though, like with that. Like they always start out with the gimmick match, and then the next match is the regular singles match or the regular tag team match. It's like you don't build up to the gimmick match, you work backwards, and it's a little weird because I'm not used to that.
I'm actually gonna quote Brian Last on this and Jim Cornette. It's like it's the cart before the horse, they say. And here's another saying, because I think Brian Last talked about this with the gimmick matches in AEW and the no build up to them. It's like, you know, I'll show up on the episode the week before and I'll be like, and hit you with a pen. I'll throw a pen at one of you, and then Tony Khan will book it like right at that, like 2 minutes later. It's word from Tony Khan. He booked them in a pen match next week on Dynamite.
A good penmanship match.
So it's that kind of thing. So
yeah, I feel like they work backwards. It's insane. Just like we saw, you know, last year we saw the Blood and Guts match as the first match between Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, and then we got regular matches after that. It was like, why are you working backwards? You should be building up to the gimmick.
But contrary to what I said,
makes sense. Yes.
You know, contrary to what I said, I like the Mimosa Mayhem match.
Man, that matchup was
for my just because I like drinking mimosas, and I
had friends over for the first time watching AEW, and to be honest, like a lot of them were like, "What the fuck are we watching?" I'm like, "Damn, this is bad."
They go
bad.
Chris Jericho is chilling in the mimosa.
I'm like, it's not always like this. I swear.
Oh, OG is stealing.
Oh man, but hey, the Ass Boys, they got.
You got knocked the fuck out.
Oh, right in that trash can. Yes, he did. That trash bin. Yes, that's heavy. I'm scary too.
Mm-hmm.
The main event now, ladies and gentlemen, for Dynamite. And that is Chris Jericho, the Gajote, versus Wheeler Yuta. Man, I'm gonna say this very quick, man. I can say this right now. I'm glad to see the old Jericho. I love when he brought back the double arm underhook to the knee. I haven't seen that in a long time. So I was really happy to see that.
Thanks. And the Lion Tamer too.
Lion Tamer. Oh my God! You know, awesome performance for Jericho. And yeah, he still got it, man. That's why he's a good joke. But I'm. Funny thing is, because, you know, shout out to Joe from the Ring, because they mentioned, you know, we could see a title change. They are going to Canada though, so shout out to all our Canadian listeners out there and the fans here. You guys will be having your experience of watching Dynamite Rampage in October, as they'll be heading to Toronto, Canada. So man,
shouts to the fellow Canadians.
That is right. So I mean, it could happen, man. It could happen, and it's insane that, you know, Jericho is, you know, from Winnipeg. So I mean, this could be a shocker, you know, if he actually pulls the upset, meaning Moxley, and head to Canada as a world champion. I mean, that'll be something. But I mean, I cannot wait to see. One question I want to ask, 2-part question: are we gonna see a Lion Tamer, the Lion Tamer costume? Are we gonna see the whole ring attire? Are we gonna see the Lion Tamer ring attire Jericho was that pretty good? Will he bring that back? That's the biggest question I have. So I'll take it to you, Matt Callis. The overall about the main event, and will he bring that ring attire back?
I think he can bring that ring attire back. And then with this match, you really get to see kind of. I don't know if Chris Jericho was on a. He did have that win last time, but it feels like he's been on kind of like a down slump, and he's kind of getting a little bit of momentum back up the runway. You know, he went. It's like a U pattern. It's a little bit down. He's like gonna come back up for this one. I don't think he's gonna come out with the win in the next week, and it does. I don't know what it would kind of throw booking in such a weird place, you know, if Jericho comes out with that win, you know.
Then you would do CM Punk versus Jericho instead of Mox versus Punk,
which we've seen before, and you know, I know Tanahashi wants a rematch with Jericho, but I don't. They don't need the belt to have that rematch. So it, you know, But overall, I like the match, and it just kind of shows just kind of where Wheeler Yuta is in terms of, you know, his abilities, kind of how they want him presented. You know, not as like, you know, he could win any. If he won this match, I'd be like, whoa, slow down there, cowboy.
Hey, slow down, cowboy.
Bring it on back, Wheeler.
Bring it on back.
Yo, do you guys ever watch what's his name? Conan and Disco Inferno's podcast?
I do. I listen to it. I really don't watch it, but I listen to it.
Do you listen to how they call Wheeler Yuta Wheeler Utah?
Yeah. Oh man, Disco
Wheeler
man.
Utah.
He's something Utah. He's something else, man. He is something else. Oh my god, man. But De Niro, give us your thoughts about this main event, my brother.
This matchup was good. I liked that Wheeler Yuta like was able to hang with someone like Chris Jericho, and I like that Chris Jericho pulled out a lot of like glimpses of past Jericho, and I think that that's only going to bring, you know, more intrigue to next week, because this matchup was like the little preview. Like he was showing you like he still could pull out some of these moves like the backbreaker and like the lion tamer. So I think that it's going to be awesome. As for him coming out in full like Lionheart gear, that'll be fire. Like, I would love that. Last time we saw that was ECW One Night Stand. Like, he came back with the Lionheart vest and the pants.
Oh,
and
yes.
Like,
yes,
that would be
yes.
cool. I think they literally just made an action figure of classic Jericho.
Yes,
so even if he pulled out that gear, like, it would go with the action figure. It would be awesome. So I think that for sure, because they're alluding to it too much, that it's going to be old Jericho, the last survivor, the Heart Dungeon, Lionheart Jericho. I think that by them alluding to that so much, it would be a little bit of a letdown if he came back next week with his regular black, you know, tights and his inner circle tights. Like, be old school Jericho for one night. Like, that's the coolest part of AEW. Like, they're able to do stuff like that. They're able to bring that like a little nostalgia, like we don't see in WWE. Like in WWE, everything's like pushing forward, but you never see like the little nod to like the past gimmicks. You know what I mean? Like, once you change your gimmick, you don't go back. It was rare that Kane put the mask back on after he took it off. Like, so that's why it's like weird when you see stuff like this, because it's cool. Like, you know, you fantasy book things. Like when you play a video game, like sometimes you don't want to play as the current Undertaker. You want to play as like Ministry of Darkness Undertaker or something. So it's cool that AEW does things like that. So I think that next week it'll be awesome if you brought back the yellow pants with the black stripes. Just like
yes. Yes.
Just like the WCW action figure with the little kitty cat.
Yes, what he did.
You brought it up last week, right?
I'll fucking we posted it. Yeah, we saw it last week on Top 5. I will fucking hell yeah. If he does, oh my god, if he does bring that back, I'll be so epic.
Yo, if he brings back the old school music too, that'll be even better. That'll even be better. Like, I don't know if he owns like his old Lionheart WCW gimmick. I don't think he's going to be able to get that music.
Hey, he can make a phone call, man. Hey, yeah, you know,
I
TK,
mean,
make a phone call to Paul Levesque now or Stephanie. You call him, hey, pal. You know, we're trying to make a movie here. So,
hey, I mean, we saw Chris Jericho on Raw a few weeks back giving a shout out to John Cena. So why not do something for Jericho? Jericho did something for you.
Favor. That is right. And of course, speaking of right, make sure, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, of course, it is. Let's see. Lionheart was his gimmick in ECW first.
No, of course,
it is. Yes, it was. It was.
Man, his matches with Taz and Shane Douglas, his match with Sabu, his ECW run was very short, but his ECW run was memorable. He was ECW television champion.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And of course, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is Rampage. Make sure, there you go, for the debut of Madison Rain, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Tony Nese and Josh Woods. I'm intrigued to see that, how this chemistry is going to, develop between these four individuals, especially with Woods making his debut. Which I think he made his debut on Dark. I think I don't recall. Mance Warner, for God's sakes, versus John Moxley versus for the A championship, not interim. No, he's the world fucking champion. Tony Khan. Jesus Christ.
You know what would be cool if for the Mance Warner matchup, if they also put on the line the GCW heavyweight champion, because John Moxley's current GCW champion and Mance Warner's a GCW wrestler, it would have made sense to have that title on the line as well.
That's a point where they should open up. you know, CW AEW partnership. You know, I mean,
sure.
What
we had Nick Gage on AEW Dynamite last year, and he was a part of the GCW roster.
And John Moxley's been their champion for a minute now. So, like, come on, acknowledge it.
Yeah.
He's worn the GCW shirt on Dynamite before. So.
Yeah. We don't have to wait to see. I mean, I'll be shocked if let's say he does put on the line, right, and then he loses it. Two-match Warner. Battle Royal. Old Manser. I mean, he what? He because he won that Battle Royal, right? The Ric Flair's one. What was it? What was the Dusty? What was it called?
It was Bunkhouse Battle Royal.
Oh, okay. That's what it's called. Bunkhouse Battle Royal. All right, and one more actually here that we have that it was announced thanks to Dan from KHYQ. He announced it to us, but we want to give our brief thoughts. Blake Christian is All Elite and ROH as he signed a deal now with Ring of Honor and AEW.
Hell
of a talent. He is the first person to gone to almost every damn promotion, especially the NXT, which he could have done so good right now in NXT. He could have been the North American champion right now if they would have believed in him. Believe in Blake Christian, but they didn't.
Blake Christian, he actually deserves a Ring of Honor title shot.
Oh, that's right.
Because at the GCW, World on GCW event, it was supposed to be Jonathan Gresham versus Blake Christian. Jonathan Gresham couldn't make the matchup. So they announced that Blake Christian will get a future Ring of Honor title shot when Ring of Honor comes back. So he should be getting a shot at Claudio Castagnoli.
Talk about it, man. Give us your thoughts about Blake Christian. Talk about it. Preach it.
I think he's a hell of a talent. He's young. He's very talented. He's got a lot of skill. And I think he's a guy who is going to really come into his own and be a big star because like he's also such a genuinely nice guy. Like I've had conversations with him. He's a very cool guy. So I think that it's nice to see good people get good opportunities. You know what I mean? So I definitely am really excited for him.
You know, I'll say this about Blake Christian. He's probably my favorite wrestler to share gifs of on Twitter. I think one of my favorite moves, because everybody thinks about the moonsault, that's a backflip. Shooting star press, that's a front flip. But he's got a sideways flip where he flips his body this way while jumping off. And I always thought of that as a move, but he made that reality. So I can't wait to see that on AEW television.
He did. Didn't Ospreay did do it too? Didn't at some point Ospreay did?
It's different than a corkscrew. Like you jump, but then you just turn this way.
No, yeah. I get you, but that's what I'm trying to think if Ospreay ever.
I don't remember Ospreay.
During his like young career, like him and Ricochet, early like when he was a junior heavyweight. I'm curious.
Speaking of Ospreay, Blake Christian versus Will Ospreay, Warrior Wrestling. We'll definitely watch it.
That's right. Definitely watch it. And of course, man, shout out to Impact, ladies and gentlemen. Did see a highlights, at least for this Impact that happened tonight on Thursday. Shout out to PCO and Doc Gallows. They had a sensational street fight. Drum set everywhere. Oh my God, this was insane. You guys gotta watch it. Yeah, congratulations. Yes. Oh yes, definitely. Congrats. Facts. That's right. Yeah. Oh. I'll do it. Yeah, we haven't heard it all day.
Give me what I want. Give me what I want.
So much spit came on that fucking microphone. Say it, don't spray it, Batista.
Say it, don't spray, Batista. Jesus. But man, shout out to Impact once again. They're doing another great job. And you know, it's funny. I read a comment from Sam Callahan. I think he was on a podcast, and he literally said that he pretty much said what TK's about to say right now.
That's fucking bullshit.
That basically we don't have time to watch Impact. Well, we'll make time for it. Don't worry. We will do that for you because definitely for sure next Friday we'll get into it. But I'll bring up the card now for Impact Emergence coming Friday, August 12th, this is going to be an insane match because the card, you have Honor No More versus the Bullet Club. Woohoo! I'm excited for that one.
Hell yeah.
Of course, we have Kushida and Chris Sabin. Oh, man, I thought it was going to be a time splitters, but no, it's not. So versus, of course, Violent by Design. Bandito is, of course, an Impact versus Horus. Jordan Grace defending the Impact Women's Champion versus Mia Yim. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, Jack Evans versus Speedball Mike Bailey. The winner of that one.
Jack Evans, baby.
Word.
Yes.
Jack Evans from the heavens.
Oh, what? You're going to be there, Devin?
Woo!
Right?
Oh, man.
Hey,
Yo, you should vlog it, bro. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Vlog it, brother. That's going to be an intense.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to have this plan if they lose, but they win, they get a. Oh, okay. Okay, if they lose, but if they. Okay. That's fair.
I like Josh Alexander, but I'm gonna go and say I would love if Alex Shelley won this title. Alex Shelley was a member of Impact for many years. I think he deserves to be the champion.
You deserve it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Oh my God, that does happen.
But you know what, Mike? You know what else I want from Mike Shelley? I want him to ask out Maki Ito finally. Like after
Give me what I want.
You what? Give Matt what he wants, man. He wants.
He's gonna call up Maki. I won the Impact title. Well, you want to go get ice cream or go to a movie or something?
Hi.
She'll be like, no. There you go.
She calls him Alex Googly. That's what she calls him.
What Alex? What Alex Googly?
Simply.
Oh, Alex
like
simply. I could tell because he wants in the machine to do it. Oh man, and that'll be fantastic. Yep, oh man, hell yeah, Devin, vlog it, brother.
What's up, man?
That's awesome, man. That's right.
You're taking your
Tribal
son too.
Chief
That's
Day.
dope.
That's right. The Tribal Chief of Podcasting and of course the Prince of the Tribal Chief of Podcasting are going to go see Impact Emergence. Man, vlog it, brother. I'm looking forward to it.
You're gonna have a good time. Impact always puts on a great live show. I've been to many live Impact shows, man. You're gonna have a good time.
Impact.
Absolutely.
You know, I'll say. I think I've said it before, but I'll say Impact's in-ring product, bell to bell. And now with Hunter in WWE, I gotta say it's pretty much an even field because I'd say Impact and AEW have like a neck and neck in-ring product. Impact maybe a little bit better in-ring product.
Impact is the most consistent show that nobody talks about, and it's a goddamn shame.
Exactly.
And as I'm saying, that Sonny Ken has a point. I'm not here to disagree with him. He has a good value.
Word. It's 99 cents to watch the show on YouTube. So I know a lot of people are like, whoa, I don't got access to TV. It's 99 cents a month, not even a week, a month to watch it on YouTube. All you gotta do is it starts at 8 o'clock Eastern. The show goes live on YouTube at 8:30. So it's a 30-minute delay.
I think you can still watch it on Twitch too, right?
I don't think so. I think they ended their partnership with Twitch because of a Rob Van Dam segment. When Rob Van Dam was with the company, he had those like sexual segments with his wife and his girlfriend with like.
Oh my God!
There was like a segment where there was like a threesome and
they were always making out.
Twitch, what's called, banned the channel
and smoking that hashish. You know, he be getting that cushion in Japan too.
Yo, Rob Van Dam is the man.
He is. I'm with Devin. I am a big fan of the storytelling. Impact does have great storytelling. Shout out to Scott D'Amore and what they do out there, man. We're gonna do the best that we can. But if we cannot, here on Circle Debate, there's someone else who could cover Impact, for all of you guys. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let's see. I love RVD. Fucking Devin.
Hey, I loved it too, but it got them banned from Twitch. So
exactly,
you should have hit that gravity bong right after. Been like,
it's funny because when it happened, like I was watching the episode on Twitch because I didn't have access to TV. All of a sudden, it just like cuts out, and then it says that Twitch does not allow pornographic material. I'm like, I'm watching Impact. What the fuck? I could understand if it was still called TNA, but like. It was wild.
Oh my god. Now it's time. Yeah, but like I said, if you guys cannot, like I said, if we here Circle Debate cannot cover it, but we know someone else who could probably cover Impact. And well, we're gonna show you that video so you guys could know, because you'll know right now after this video. And that is right, ladies and gentlemen. You are able to catch it starting
commercial
on
of the century.
What a commercial of the century. But you will catch it on August 8th. He will make his debut here on the COD channel. The Wrestling Delorean Podcast will be now featured here live, giving the people what they want. Dirty Heels, giving the people what they want. They asked for it. They want it live. And we're all excited.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let me just take this opportunity to break down for people who don't know what I do at the Wrestling Delorean Podcast. Wrestling Delorean Podcast, we do everything that we do here with the Circle Debate. We go and talk. Thanks a lot, Devin. I appreciate you, man. We talk about all the modern news, but we also go back in time and we talk about all the classic shit, right? Every Monday, I cover the Monday Night War. In succession, it is going to be going in order. It is WWE Raw is War versus Nitro. Every Wednesday, we talk about old school ECW, Hardcore TV, and Succession. And every Friday, we talk about TNA. So Sami Callihan, I got you. We talk about TNA from every Impact on. Then we also talk about in Succession every NWA TNA pay-per-view, every Wednesday pay-per-view. And I will now add to my Friday rotation Impact Wrestling reviews.
There you go.
Here we go. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here on Circle Debate.
That's right. That is right. We're gonna add it here. That's right, man. I'm excited. De Niro's excited, and I mean,
hell yeah.
I can tell everybody's excited. Even Lennox, yeah, buddy, it's right. That's right. That is right. And Stranger Things Alive. What the fuck? Why? That's not Stranger Things. I mean, I do love the show. I mean, but it doesn't mean that that's my idea came from. It just caught my eye because old school, DeLorean, it just caught my eye. But I love it, yes. And man, and obviously, yes, because she doesn't get his manager back. That's right. He will get his manager back. That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he'll be here live. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. And so there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, another great 2-hour fantastic episode on episode 113 here on Circle Debate. Make sure tomorrow we'll be back with a top 5 picks of the week, which is we picked our top 5 best cage matches. So like we said last Friday on the Rey Mysterio one, could be from ECW, FMW, either WCW, the wrestling, or it could be the Attitude Era. It could be anything. It could be anything that we would like to talk about. This top 5, so I'm looking forward to speaking of that. But make sure, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget on August 8th, make sure that you follow our social media platforms for Wrestling Delorean and Circle Debate. We're going to give you the time. Once De Niro will break down the time, what time will he be on the channel every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Definitely, he'll give us the Eastern time, and so he'll break it down for me in the time zone, so I can let everybody know, hey, this is the time we're going to come on. So that is. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, no 2 point. Okay, whoa. No.
That's a Solo Sequoia.
Oh, I didn't watch complete highlights of it, but I mean,
Appreciate
did you see it? Did you see it? Did you see it, Mike? I didn't see 2.0 completely. Did you see it?
Nah, I saw highlights. I gotta see 2.0. I usually do watch it every week. It's just that it's been a very busy week. I had a bunch of shit going on, job interviews, doctor's appointments for my son. So now, I'll probably watch it tonight, maybe. Like, I saw highlights of it.
I gotta see it too. Now that Devin brought it up, now I'm intrigued. What happened on 2.0. I want to shout out. Hold on. I do want to give a shout out though. I want to give a shout out because they make the right call for the. I did it for the picture because I did see the highlight of this, and I did see. And thank you very much, Devin, for reminding me because I forgot about this. And that is the women's tournament, the tag team titles. Toxic Attraction versus Jesus Christ, I can't believe it. Is it Carter and what did she change her name now? Kat, right? Or was it Fatal 4-Way? Yes, there you go for the women's tag. Yeah, Fatal 4-Way. There you go. That match was fire. I did see the highlights for that. Oh man, congratulations though, man. And I'm gonna say that was Paul Levesque's input right there. There you go, Carter and Chance. Chance? Okay. I'm not gonna it is what it is. Hey, yo.
You people know who I am. Nah, I ain't gonna go into the full promo.
Katana and Chance, Katana and Chance and Kaden. Oh, yes, Chance. Oh, that's right. Yes, that's the theme. Yes, okay. What I missed? Oh, you missed a lot of things, brother. You missed a lot of things. Hey, yo. But that match was a banger. I did enjoy seeing that. I saw the highlights of it on McMahon. I gotta go back and watch the full match. I only caught clips of it, but I heard it was a fantastic fatal 4-way for those tag team titles. And yeah, Katana Chance, man, those two women, they're gonna be a future stars. I tell you that right now. Yeah. They're gonna be future stars for sure in NXT 2.0. And whoever picked them up, and I'm pretty sure it's Paul Levesque because he was in charge of obviously, scouting and looking, but I'm hoping so. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, once again, do not forget us to subscribe to Cage My IQ and of course Clark's Free Wrestling Podcast. And as they bring you such good shit, such fucking shit. Because we're the league. We, like I said, we don't make podcasts here, man. We're top of the world. We are top of the world,
Craig. Shit, not just the city, the world.
That's right.
To this day. To this day.
To this day we are. But yes, so it's about that time. Matt's favorite outro.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Yes. It's about that time for us to what you know
That's
about.
Right. What you know about it. A great show for Thank you, Devin, for tuning in, man. Appreciate you. Yes, Tribal Chief Day. Yes, it is. Today is Tribal Chief Day for the rest of the week, especially if you watch SmackDown tomorrow. I'm actually intrigued to see what's going to happen on SmackDown, but I am. And of course, before we let everybody go, I want to go ahead and thank all of our audio platform listeners. And once again, don't not forget, if you're new here watching us, subscribe. Subscribe to Circle Debate because you'll be catching also the Wrestling Delorean here every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you subscribe. So wait a minute, what are we gonna hear? How do you celebrate Tribal Chief Day? Devin, I don't know if he's still here. Can you tell them how to celebrate Tribal Chief Day? Let them know.
You just acknowledge your tribal chief.
Acknowledge him. That's all you gotta do.
There you are.
You gotta do
right over there. You're standing over there by the vending machine.
Yeah, anything you see Roman, acknowledge it. If you see a shirt, acknowledge it.
I see you, baby.
If you see a T-shirt, acknowledge it. If you see the glove, acknowledge it.
That's how we.
Because remember, you guys are the twos and they're the ones.
One guys, yes. One for the good guys. That is right. But see, para todos see. Oh, there you go. Put the ones up. There you go.
I see you, baby.
I see you, baby.
You
put the ones up. There you go.
I see you, baby.
We gotta put. If you see them, that's for you. Matt just did it for you. I see you.
I see you, baby.
Matt's in his own world right now.
That's the ones. One for the good guys. One for the good guys. That's right. On here on Tribal Chief Day. So
I acknowledge you.
He acknowledged you, Devin. But
yeah, see you, baby.
Yeah, Matt's in his own world right now.
He's in his own world right now.
Matt just glitched. Matt's glitching over there.
Dude, that's when you get over acknowledged.
There, I celebrated by typing one. Yes. You got to put the ones up, the actual finger up, actually. Pues sí, a toda Latinoamérica que nos están mirando aquí en Cerco Debate, muchas gracias por aquí escucharnos y viéndonos aquí en Cerco Debate. No sé,
That's actually going to happen.
It is. We're going to make a mini series here on COD for the day and life of Matt Callis.
It's really bad, you know. No sueño, es realidad.
Es realidad, pero no sueño. Pues sí, no es realidad, es un sueño, pero sí. Gracias por todos aquí escucharnos y no se olviden de suscribir aquí en nuestro canal de YouTube y también a toda nuestra área de plataformas. Saludos y mucho amor a Latinoamérica de Colombia, Ecuador, Nicaragua, Argentina, El Salvador, Honduras, México, viva México, y Chile y Colombia y Brasil. También muchas gracias por escucharnos. In order to our European listeners, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Estonia now listening to us. Sweden, of course, Belgium, and the UK, of course. Thank you so much. Guten Tag and choose. You get this deal. Yes, yeah, that's good. And also to the Philippines, of course. Matt Callis, you wanted to the Filipino, man. Let our Philippine native listeners out there.
Por una cabeza. I see you, baby. Shaking that thing. Remember Fat Boy Slim? I see you, baby. Shaking that thing. I see you, baby. Yeah, I think I might actually do that show just for you, Gage my IQ.
No, you're not gonna do it. Baby. Oh man, but yeah, shout out to Calabra Zone and Big McCoy up there in the Philippines for listening to
I'm bringing back all the oldies.
All right, man. De Niro, let our people know in English and to all of our listeners.
Everybody who supports the Circle Debate, everybody who rides with the Wrestling Delorean podcast, all the Wrestling Delorean passengers are also. What do we call our fans here on Circle Debate? Are they just the fans and the listeners, or are they like the debaters, or what are we calling them?
The debaters, might as well. DeLorean debaters.
We got we got the debaters. We got the Wrestling Delorean passengers. You know, we appreciate all you guys. Thank you so much for always riding with the Wrestling Delorean, always riding with the Circle Debate. It's Matt's glitching over there.
Hey, I see the commuters.
See the
commuters. No, but honestly, like real talk, everybody who supports, we do this for you. Without you, there is no us. So thank you for always supporting. Continue supporting. We got a lot of good shit coming up. Everything's just going to keep growing from here. You know what I mean? There ain't going to be no looking back. We ain't going backwards. We're only moving forward. So for sure, hit that subscribe button because you want to be a part of history. You want to be a part of this because this is the best thing going today.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. And of course, I got to let Mr. Matt Callis, but before I got to play his outfit. I have to play that for you. Matt Callis, let them know. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna edit that video and I'm gonna put a picture of you instead of Don Callis. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put
Yo, please do that.
We gotta do it. Let's do it.
But you gotta. I gotta look for the picture. I gotta look for
That has to be the right one. It has to be the right one.
It has to be the right one.
We don't make podcasts. We make I see you, baby. Shaking that thing. I see you, baby. We make history.
Over and over. Make over and over. History! Over and over and over and over.